Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare. Very nice. Very nice, Tarunji. Thank you so much. We have
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Ishwarji and Meenakshi ji. Ishwarji, would you like to sing Hare Krishna while we wait for others to join?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Very nice, Ishwarji. Meenakshi ji, would you like to sing?
Thank you so much.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Please, could you please give us your beautiful voice and sing Hare Krishna?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. So welcome all of you to today's session. We are actually, can you believe it? We are in the 6th session of our discussion. Today is a very, very important topic. Why do bad things happen to good people? And for that, let's just do a quick recap of what we covered so far in all the 5 classes before. So anybody remembers, first was search for happiness. Everybody's searching for happiness, but they're not getting it because there is always some misery. Adi Devik, Adi Bautik, Adi Atmik. Then there is misery.
They are searching happiness in the wrong place. According to Krishna, this world is a dukkhalaya.
Very nice, Ishwarji. Yeah, please jump in and add points when you want. Okay. So then, like you did. So first is search for happiness. Then we did, does God exist? Right?
What is life?
Yes. So and then so we had many proofs of God and the definition of God. We covered that, and then we discussed who is God. And there are different gods in different religions, but we say that there's only one God. He comes in different forms in different religion to different place during different times. Just like the sun is called sun in America, but in India it's called Surya, but it's the same sun. So similarly, God is one. Okay, we learned that. So we learned who is God, and then we learned who am I. So we learned that we are all thinking that we are this body that we have now, but actually our true identity is not this body, because we exist even when that body goes away or dies. We continue to exist as the soul. So our true identity is the soul, and the soul is just in this body, which is like a car we are driving in, right? So we have to take care of our body because it's responsibility. Just like we change the oil in our car, take good care of our car so that we can travel from point A to point B. So this body is a very, very important vehicle for us to go from.
Wait, so the body is very important too?
Yeah, you have to take care of your body, but if you just take care of the body and not the soul, then you'll have a problem. Like you paint your car white today. Tomorrow I think, oh, I want to make the car better. I'm going to paint the car golden. But you're not eating any food for yourself. That means you're going to starve.
So what if you take care of the soul and not the body?
Yeah, if you just take care of the soul, your soul will have to leave the body, right? Like if you starve or something, the soul doesn't have enough time to do what it has to do, because the soul is here in this body for purification. So if you just think about the soul and not the body, how will the soul do what it has to do? Like chanting the names of the Lord, serving the Lord. We cannot do that without the body, right? Yeah. Okay. So then we learned about that we are the soul and not the body, and we learned about the gross body and the subtle body and all that. Okay. So now today's session is, do bad things happen to good people? Okay.
Why do bad things happen to good people?
Oh, we have Dhruvji also joining today after a while. Welcome, Dhruvji. And
Okay, but I never told you that my classes are on Saturdays.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So we moved it to Sunday for this week. Yeah. So if this time works for everybody, we can do this time. I don't know. But
at least some people are coming. So.
Yeah. So, okay. So the topic for today is, why do bad things happen to good people? Anybody knows why? No. So, okay, Ashmita raising her hand.
Prabhuji, I can tell because Prabhuji, that all the things happen according to our previous birth.
Oh, you're saying the conclusion of this chapter already. Very good. Very good. Okay. Anybody else?
So Ashmita?
Yeah, so maybe since bad people get bad luck and good people always get good luck, but then they even need some bad luck, since it won't be equal if the bad guys only get bad luck and the good guys only get the good luck. So that's why the good guys even get some bad luck in their life.
Okay. So just to differentiate, you think everybody has to get some bad luck or bad things happening so that they can enjoy the good times. That's what Ashmita ji is saying. Okay, anybody else?
Prabhuji, can I say?
Yes, please, Ishwari.
Prabhuji, we experiences bad situations in our life because we committed some bad things in our previous life. So that is coming in the form of bad things, and we have to face that in this life.
Yes. Very nice. You and Thaira ji gave the conclusion of this chapter, but we will have to slowly discover that with our discussion today. So let's dive in right in. So there was a great rabbi. You know who a rabbi is? Rabbi is a Jewish priest. Okay, so he's a man of God, but then he had a good family. They always followed the rules. They always prayed to God. But then he got a son who had a disease called progeria. Now, progeria is a disease where young kids will get a body which ages very fast. So when the kid is 7, it's like the body is like 70 years old. So all wrinkled and white hair and internal organs are also aging very, very fast. So this Jewish rabbi, Harold Kushner, who's the author of this book, he was very sad when his son passed away when he was 14 years old. So he was thinking, how did this bad thing happen to good people? My son was such a good kid, always told the truth, always did everything right. So why did he have to suffer with this deadly disease called progeria and die? So his conclusion was that there is a God, because he was a man of God, so he couldn't say there is no God. Then he said there is God, but the God is limited, because God cannot be all knowing, all powerful, and all merciful at the same time. He said only two of this may be true. So his conclusion was, like, if God knows everything and God is all powerful, he's not all merciful. Otherwise, how would you have let my son die? Or he's all powerful and all merciful, but he's not all knowledgeable. He didn't know that how to cure my son. Then he said,
He knows everything.
God knows everything, and God is very merciful, but he's not all powerful, because he couldn't save my child from dying. So that was his conclusion, and that book sold millions of copies. It's a New York bestseller. Okay, so everybody has their own conception of why bad things happen to good people. Again, this is a wrong notion. We are going to prove that today. Okay, this is another example. Annie, this is Charles Darwin's 10-year-old daughter. She passed away, and he became an atheist, and he said there is no God, and that's how he came up with this theory of natural selection and evolution theory. So some people, because when they have bad situation in their life, they said God is who is causing this. God is very cruel to me. Why me? Why couldn't God do better to me? I have been very nice to him. Why is he doing that to me? So those are the problems. Everybody blame God for the situations in their life.
You're not supposed to blame God.
Yeah,
right?
we'll learn about that. Who is to blame? Okay, so this is another example. You know, the picture on the left is the Titanic. And who knows about Titanic?
Me.
Okay.
In the olden days, Prabhuji, in the olden days, Titanic was the biggest ship.
Yes,
Yeah,
very
Prabhuji?
nice. Yeah, Ashmita ji wants to say. Yeah,
The Titanic is the biggest ship long time ago. Plus, it was a ship which mistakenly crashed into an iceberg, and
Yes.
lots of people have died, but
Mhm.
not that much people were rescued. But it was a fair amount of people.
Yes. Ayana wants to say something.
So Titanic, it hit into an iceberg, like Ashmita said, and then a lot of people died, and then it also shows something. It's like all of those people's past life who died, their past life, they did something bad or something.
Okay, hold on. So let's talk about the Titanic. Is when they built the Titanic, they said even God cannot sink the ship.
Wait, sorry, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Maybe it's since that they had lots of belief that nothing will happen whenever it crashes.
Yeah.
And I already noticed, but then whenever it was night, they mistakenly hit an iceberg. But then nowadays, they won't hit icebergs. No, there is a ship, since it can control automatically without the pilot. Or no, not the pilot, but the person who controls the ship. Since long time ago, they can't see that much in the night.
So you're saying technology wasn't good enough, that's why the ship sank. Okay, that's one way to look at it. But then today also ships are running aground. If you heard about the news in the Suez Canal, there was a ship that got stuck even in this modern day, and no ships could pass the canal. This just happened a month back. So there are things happening that are out of man's control. And this ship, when they built it, they said even God cannot sink it, and it sank in the first voyage, first journey. It sank, and 1,500 people died. But there was this one family who was supposed to go in the ship, but they didn't make the ship because they had put all their life savings into this ship journey, because they really wanted to go in a ship at that 1912 time, and they sold everything and they bought the tickets. But then the son got a dog bite, and in those days, if they get a dog bite, they're not allowed to travel. The whole family is quarantined, just like we are during COVID time. And they were cursing God. Oh God, I tried my best all my life. I was trying to go on my most important journey that I wanted to celebrate with my family.
Oh, actually, that's a good thing. It's like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah. So then he was cursing God, and then after a couple of days, when the Titanic sank, he was praising God. Oh God, you really saved me. And then, so what happened to the 1,500 people who died? Is there no justice in this world? Why were they not saved, right? So, okay. All right. So then there is...
Prabhuji, I know why they died.
Okay, Chaitraji, please tell us.
They died. They weren't be able to be saved because of their karma from past life.
Very nice. Yeah. So I think Ishwarji,
Oh, I think I know the right one.
Chaitraji, they all know this chapter already. But let's
Wait.
that slowly, okay?
I know
So
why
then-
the people died in the Titanic.
Okay, Dhruvji, tell us.
Because they all drowned.
Yes, they all drowned because the ship went into the water, and it was ice cold water, and it was winter time.
So it's kind of like
Even
that Krishna
Hare Krishna, Adhika ji.
born.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Taira ji.
Okay.
Prabhuji.
Yes, please, Ashmita ji.
This is amazing, but then one guy, he was saved by God. He was just swimming. No, the Titanic crashed, and then he was supposed to go on a lifeboat, but then they won't let them go on the lifeboat.
Yes.
So
Few of
that's
them
why
were
he
saved
just
by the
jumped.
light.
Like there were like two people, and they just jumped from the Titanic and just swam. But then they nearly died, but then they were saved. So that's a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
His wife just paid some money to cure him.
Wait,
Yeah.
can I
So everybody has different results. They were in the same ship, but
Teacher.
some were saved with the lifeboat. Some died. 1,500
Prabhuji,
passengers died. Yes.
what is in the second photo that's showing fire?
Yes. So this is another story. So this is a story of a restaurant owner. Okay. A restaurant owner. He opened a restaurant in Australia. Okay. And what is special about the restaurant was he allowed people to catch fish from the water. He had a big lake. He told them, go take your fishing rod, catch a fish, and with your fishing rod, with the fish hanging, just bring it. And I have hot oil here. Put the fish directly in the hot oil, and you can fry it while it is still shivering from the water. So imagine the pain the fish is going through, right? And so he was, and everybody was flocking to the restaurant to eat the fish that way. But it was real cruelty to the fish, because the fish is going through a lot of pain because it was in the water. Suddenly it is getting fried alive, right? So what happened was, this came in the newspaper there. Why did this happen? Nobody knows. What happened was, this restaurant owner who opened this idea and restaurant, he was sitting by the lake and he was swimming, and there was a forest fire happening. And so, these helicopters, they come and suck the water out of big lakes and put it into the forest fire. So this helicopter came and sucked the water, and this guy,
the man.
and this man also got sucked in because the helicopter didn't know, it was just sucking in the water to go stop the forest fire, and he got thrown to the forest fire, and he died pretty much.
That's exactly the same as the fish, because he's in the water and then he got thrown into the fire because the boiling oil from the fish.
Yeah.
And then it's like karma.
Yeah,
Like
right. So
treat
there are
others
many,
the way
we can learn from all these different news that come in and see the hand of karma in everything. So this is the question: is God responsible for our happiness or distress? So the good things that happen into our life, like the smart family, oh, I am saved from the ship. And like Ashmita ji said, some were saved by trying to swim to safety, or trying to from the lifeboat they were saved. But so some were saved, some were not saved. So is God partial? Is that so? To understand all that is the what we are going to cover today. Okay, and these are the 5 main topics of Bhagavad Gita, and we need to understand all this to understand why all this is happening, and understand what is karma or activity. So we learned about Ishvara, God. We learned about Jiva, that's our soul. Then we are going to learn about Prakriti, Karma, and Kala. These are the 3 aspects we need to understand. So then we'll have covered the whole of the major topics about Gita. Okay. So first, let's see, what is this Prakriti or this material world. So where does the soul come from, and where has the soul come to? So where did the soul come from? Actually, the soul is part and parcel of Krishna. So you see Krishna here, he is manifesting all the material worlds. And each material world is like a bubble, and we are coming into this material world. And where we were initially was something called the spiritual world. So when the Lord makes, so just think about a city. What does a city need to function? Anybody can say a few departments required in the.
Prabhuji, can I say?
Yes, please.
Prabhuji, a city in the modern days, a city needs industries, buildings, roads, etc.
Yes, buildings.
All those man-made nature.
Yes. So city needs. Let's talk about the departments it needs. It needs a water department, right? It needs an electricity department.
it
right?
also needs food.
Yeah, it needs. Yeah, it needs like food and medicine.
Electricity?
Yeah, healthcare department.
Oh, healthcare.
Yeah. So Prabhuji,
Yeah.
what I heard that is that maybe in the future, since of all the bad things that humans have done, for example, pollution, like you shouldn't be a human, that's pollution.
Yes.
So
Pollution is a bad thing.
so since of volcanoes, pollution, and like any bad gases or anything, maybe in the future God will curse us. Some people are saying that.
Yes. So we learned about that in our first class, remember? Adi Devika, Adi Bhautika, Atyatmika. So there are issues caused by ourselves. We cause pollution in the air, and that's causing global warming. Then even earthquakes will cause a lot of problems to the earth. There could be an asteroid that can come and hit the world. That's like Adi Devika phenomenon. We cannot control that. And this COVID also, nobody can control it, but we are trying to get vaccinated and all that. And then Adi Bhautika is other living things causing problems to us. So those problems are all part of this material world, because it is a place of misery. But let's come back to our discussion. Like, if just think that God is making a whole a world, right, for himself and his little minute particles like us, and he is the supreme whole. So he's living in the spiritual world. So what departments does he need? We said Like a regular place needs water department, electric department, health department, food department.
Yeah.
And also one important place a place needs is a prison, right? Yeah. Yes. Right? Because for anybody who doesn't follow the rules, like a man who is going and robbing places, who is beating up people, so they're not following rules, right? Even in this material world, and they need a prison. So even a great place, if everything is very nice, they have a lot of money, they still need a prison for people who don't follow the rules. So similarly, this material world is compared to a prison house, right? And we are sent here for our purification. So we were all in the spiritual world at one time, and then we were all having wonderful pastimes with the Lord, just like what he exhibited when he came to the world. But then we started thinking, hey, why don't I become God? So we wanted to enjoy away from God, and God was very merciful. He said, okay, I'm going to create a material world for you so that you can try to enjoy yourself without me, because that's what you want. So first, God or Krishna, he tells us, you cannot enjoy just by yourself, by being independent of me. Your enjoyment comes by being with me and serving me. So, but then we were saying, oh, that's not fair. Everybody is serving you. I want to be served. So because of that, Lord is very merciful. So he made this whole world. And if you think about it, we all have our minute freedom that he has given, that we can make our own choices, right? So he's not a dictator to say, hey, you have to do this, or else that, because he wants us to like him or love him based on our choice, not by forcing us to do that. So he said, okay, why don't you go to the material world and find out if you're going to be happy? So that's why we are all here, and we are going through different journeys in our life, going through different miseries and problems. And then we understand that independent of God, there is no happiness. So we come to this material world for our purification and understanding that. So his whole creation is 3/4 of his creation, 75% of his creation is the material, it's the spiritual world, and only 1/4 is the material world, and it's like a purification place. So everybody comes here, and once they come here, so what happens first is you have to, if you become a prisoner, right? What do you have to do first? You have to get prison clothes, right? What is the first thing you got to get when you come to?
Oh, like the body.
Yeah. So see, when you go to, if the government sends you to a prison, the first thing you have to do is to get clothes of a prisoner. So that is the body we get. And there, according to the Padma Purana, there are 8,400,000 different bodies that we could all get. Okay, and 8,400,000 is based on this definition. About 1 million or 9 lakh bodies is aquatic bodies. So there's the body of the fish, beautiful fish, coral reef. These are all bodies. It just, every body has a soul in it. So this is like the aquatic body one could get. Then you could get a non-moving living things like trees. So that's another body you could get. Everything has a soul. And then there are species of insects and reptiles. So this is another body you could get. And then there are species of birds. There are so many different beautiful bodies you could get like this.
But Krishna created all of these clothes. Yes,
right. So then there are mammals or quadrupeds. Quadrupeds are those which have 4 legs, right? So it said that there are 3 million quadrupeds, different type of species that these are bodies you could get. And finally, there are 400,000 different human bodies or two-legged bodies. So this not only includes Homo sapiens that we are, it also includes the Devatas and everybody in the material world, in the heavenly planets and the hellish planets. And even in Earth, we can see different body types, right? So these are all different body types. And then this is like Indra, he's also included in the 400,000, and even Brahma. So they're all different body types, because all the Devatas are also in the material realm of the Lord.
This
Yes.
brings me to something. I've always wanted to see the real picture of God.
Oh, okay. So he will reveal to you when you have eyes to see.
Prabhuji, I have a doubt.
Yes.
Prabhuji, you actually said that there are 400,000 human species, but actually there are more than 400,000 humans existing in this world.
Yes. So human species, not each individual person. Like Ishwarji and myself, we are the same species, right? It's not like we are one of the 400,000. There are about 8 billion people in this planet. It doesn't mean there are 8 billion species. It's just one species. So 400,000 is the different forms based on like the different material planets. So Earth is not just the one planet in the material world. There's Brahmaloka, Sutaloka, Attala, Vittala, Sutala, all the hellish planets and the heavenly planets. So the inhabitants there are also different species. And also there are some based on our, we can discuss this a little later. It's based on our mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. There are different bodies we get. So so did that answer your question, Ishwarji? Because it's not.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. So then, so when the Lord makes a prison, or Durg, this is called Durg, because you know who the jailer is? Durga Devi. Durga Devi is the jailer. So when humans make a prison, we have to give clothes, and then some very, very dangerous prisoners, they are chained, right? So similarly, there are invisible chains for everybody in this material world. And that is called Sattvagun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. So these are the three invisible chains that we don't see it, but we are actually bound by it when we come to this world.
Goodness, passion, and
Ignorance. Yes. So that if you see, every person has a certain nature, right? Like some people have goodness more, passion less, ignorance less. Some people have passion the most. They want to run around all the time and do things, make money, business. They don't take rest. They're always about making money. That's passion. Goodness is those who have a good schedule. They spend time with the family. They have time for work. They have time for God. They do everything methodically. And passion is always focused on money and also serving the senses, running behind like a bigger house, bigger car, bigger house, wanting to get bigger and bigger every day in terms of money, fame, adoration. That's passion. Ignorance is those who are always want to sleep. They don't want to, they are not motivated to do anything. So you see this nature in people, like you might have met a lot of people, and some people have goodness more, passion more, or ignorance more. It's just like some of you must have learned about X, Y, Z coordinates in a graph, right? So there are X coordinate is what is the height, and what is the in the graph what is. So my point is, every point in space has an X, Y, Z, correct? Where what coordinate it is in. So similarly, all jivas, they have some where they are in goodness, passion, ignorance, and actually that our nature is controlling us a lot. Because if we are in the mode of goodness, and somebody falls down on the street, you would run to help that person. A person in passion, the same experience, he would do something else. Ignorance would ignore that person and do whatever. So so the point is, based on how our nature is, even before we make a small choice of what we want to do, we just do according to what our nature is. So those are the three modes of material nature, and that is controlling us. And those are like chains that are controlling us in this prison house. Okay, but then actually even goodness is a chain, because anything good you do, you will have to go to heavenly planets and enjoy the happiness. But then after some time, if you make any mistake there, again you come down. So it's just a vicious cycle. You go up or down, goodness, passion, and ignorance. Then you might ask, what can I do if all of this are causing some karma, right? So if you do good, you still have to get the good reactions. If you do bad, you have to go to hellish planets, get some bad reactions. So what is the solution to this problem? That's what we'll learn in our next class, but we can quickly discuss some of those topics. If you take Bhagavad Gita chapter 17, the chapter tells all about these three gunas: sattva, rajas, and tamas, goodness, passion, and ignorance. There is food in the mode of goodness. This is good, wholesome food, grains, vegetables, the mode of goodness. Passion is mostly meat. Ignorance is those that are stinky food that's kind of spoiled or stinky. That is food in the mode of different modes. And there is music in the different modes. Here there is goodness that is very, very that's soothing to the mind. Passion is like a big dance party. It makes us dance. Our body automatically moves. And then ignorance is something that that's very scary music and things that make you scared and brings those emotions in. So everything you take in this world has these three classifications, and that is described in the Bhagavad Gita. And then even people, if you take, let's take the family of Pulatsya, who is the father of Ravana, Vibhishana, and Kumbhakarna. So from the Ramayana, the story is there, right? So they are all in the same family, but they have three different natures. You know, Ravana is very passionate. He wants to become the best. He had a golden palace. He had a beautiful kingdom. He had a beautiful wife.
But he wanted more.
He wanted more. He wanted Ram's wife. He kidnaps Ram's wives. So that's the mode of passion. And then Vibhishan is always in mode of goodness, always righteous, doing the right thing.
So
he's
the
in
mode
sattva
of
good.
goodness is best, right?
Among the three, it's best. But we're going to explain that even mode of goodness is not good enough, actually. Because then you'll ask, what can we do if all three have action and reaction?
What is Kumbhakarna again?
So Kumbhakarna is one of the brothers among the three brothers who always wants to sleep. He sleeps for 6 months. He wakes up and eats for another 6 months and goes back to sleep again. So that's in the mode of ignorance. Like he's not motivated to do anything. All I want to do is sleep. So then we mentioned about who is the jailer, right? Durga Devi is the jailer of this material. Durga Devi or Parvati, she is the one who is given the job by the Lord to take care of this material world, as to punish those who are doing bad, to reward those who are doing good, and all that is taken care by Durga Devi. But at this time, the Lord is just playing around with his cows and his friends in the spiritual world, with no bother of any of this action and reaction or anything of that sort. So this is just a summary, right? So what we learned is, in the material world, that we come here for punishment and purification. We get a costume, one of the costumes among the 8,400,000. And there are 3 chains. Those are the 3 modes of material nature. And then, so if you take, now we have discussed, so Prakriti, so there are, we discussed about Ishvara and Jiva, that is God, the soul. Then we have to discuss about Prakriti, Karma, and Kala, right? So this is the law of karma we are going to discuss. And time is very important also. You know, in this material world, we are bound by time. So we have a time we are born, there's a time we die. Everything we have has an expiry date. It is created, and after a few times, like even this laptop or computer you're using, it gets spoiled. So everything is activated by time in this world. So time is an important aspect to understand in this world. So that brings us to law of karma. That is the topic for today. So in this world, how come some people are very rich? They have very, very nice cars like this. Why don't everybody have those cars? Then some people are very poor. They have to get animals to make a small car. And there are people who even don't have that. Some are very, very strong. Some are very weak because they don't even have good food to eat and they can't have a healthy body. Then some are born with without much material beauty, and some are born with a lot of food to eat. They can choose whatever they want to eat. Some are born without any food, not a drop of food anywhere. This little baby is struggling without any food. Bones are all coming out. So these are all different aspects of this world, right? So why is there all this injustice? If you just take, so you might think, everybody said, why is Lord so partial to some people? So that is an important aspect. After this class, we should know that this is all due to the law of karma, and it is not God who is treating some good and some bad. What God is doing is just being a nice person who is just rewarding as per the rule, because he made the rule of karma, and then based on the choices we make, we are given certain situations for our purification. So yeah, so some don't the basic needs, some are fair, some are dark, some have a mansion to live in, some have a small hut, some have born to poor parents, some have a very rich parents. So that is so this is the question. So is God responsible for this suffering? Why did God give us COVID? Some people says there is no God. Why does God do that? Is God is partial to that guy? I studied well for the exam, but that guy got better grades or marks than me. So God is not kind to me. These are all doubts that we might all get when we go to school, right? Both of you go to the same class, study well, but the person who was not even paying so much attention or is a very, very mischievous guy suddenly gets a better mark. Why is that? So you might be thinking that too. So all this is controlled by the law of karma. And so God, if you think of God, you can learn maybe from this analogy that he's like a judge. Again, Krishna has entrusted the law to take care of how a person gets a good situation or a bad situation. But you can, because it is his energy, like a law of karma that's working, you can think about him like a judge who is not actually making you suffer. He's just making you follow the rules. So the same judge will give money to people, because if money to people in the sense, if somebody was cheated, the $10,000 were taken away by somebody, the guy, he will judge that you have to give the other person 10,000 because you took his money. You have to give it back. The same judge would give another judgment of or you have to go to prison. But is the judge partial? The judge is not partial. He's just hearing the situation and giving you what you deserve, right? So what he's doing is he's making a judgment based on the activities of the persons involved and the law of the land. So similarly, Krishna is not partial to anybody. He's just compared to a judge, and he says in Bhagavad Gita in this verse. Ayana, do you want to read this verse?
Yeah. Samo aham sarva
Bhuteshu
bhuteshu name
dvesho
dvesho asti
na priya
na priya ye
bhajanti
bhajanti tu
ma bhaktya
bhaktya maye
teteshu
teteshu
japi aham.
japi aham.
So anybody like to read the English translation?
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhuji, can I read?
can I read?
Prabhuji, can I read?
Can I read?
Chitra, you're raising your hand. Do you want to read?
Can I read? Yes.
Okay, Chitra can read.
I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I'm equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is me, and I'm also a friend to him.
Very nice. So the Lord is not partial. He's a friend to those who want to make him his friend. Okay. All right. I somehow got into this annotation mode.
Just stop annotation so nobody draws on the screen.
Okay, annotation is still coming. Clear all drawings. Okay. So then, so Krishna is not partial. So he's just playing the role of a judge through his energy. That is the law of karma. And it's based on everybody's activities, they get the reactions. And like we discussed, since we are not this body, but we are the soul, we come in different forms. As our body gets old, we come back in our next life to get the rewards of all the good activities or get the punishment for our bad activities. So in that life, when we are getting some bad reactions, we say, I have lived my life so well, but then why am I suffering? Why did this happen to me? So that is not because what you did in this life, it may be something that you did in a previous life. Okay, so the law of karma is just like the Newton's third law of motion. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
That's what I said.
Yeah, right. So in the Bible, it said, as you sow, so shall you reap. So if you sow good seeds and put good fertilizers and in the land, you'll get a good crop. You can get a lot of money by selling all the good crop you sowed. But if you sow bad seeds, don't put water, don't put fertilizers, your crop will be not good, and nobody will buy the bad bananas or bad strawberries what you're making. So as you sow, so shall you reap. So every religion, it says the same thing. So how does the law of karma work? So these are the important points you need to know, that you are actually the soul. Where are you? You're in the material world. And what situation are you in? You're in a material body, and you're bound by the three modes, and you're controlled by time. And all this is the execution of what's happening.
Paramatma is watching you.
Yeah. So what are the different kinds of karma? So there are three kinds of karma, okay, or activities. There are good activities, bad activities, and neutral activities. So neutral activities is something that we're going to learn next week. Good activities bring you good results. Bad activities are vikarma. Somebody is cruel, he goes and kills a person. Those are vikarma, bad activities.
Babaji, I think I know what vikarma activities mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think they mean both bad and good activities at the same time.
No, we'll learn that next week. Neutral is not both good and bad. It is actually, so I'll give you an example. So let's say a soldier, he goes to fight in the war, okay? And he kills the enemy soldiers. He kills.
You
10.
talked about this
Yeah.
before, like doing your duty.
Yeah, so 10, if you're doing 10, if he killed 10 enemy soldiers, when he comes back after the war alive, he's given a big medal of honor, right? He's not going to suffer for killing somebody. But if he comes back to his village and he has some enemies there, but he takes his gun and starts shooting those people, he kills 10 people, what does he get? He gets punished for it. He goes to prison. He's even given, he might get, in India, they're hanged, right? So he might get he might have to go to the gallows, and he's hanged to death. So how come he was doing the same thing, killing in both cases? But in the first activity,
Yeah, he was doing his part.
he was doing it on behalf of the government. It is a bona fide activity. But so that is akarma. So when you're doing something that pleases God, or it is to serve God, or doing it on behalf of God, that is akarma. So so karma and vikarma, karma, good activities, you're doing it for yourself. You're doing good. I'm going to study well. I'm going to, so I'll get a good job. But another way to study well and get a good job is, oh God, please let me study well so that I can serve you. When I grow up, I can get a good job, and I can invite more friends to my house and pray to you, and I want to be a good child of you. So when you're thinking and doing it for God and not for yourself, that is akarma. All right.
Wait.
So it's the same activity of killing or studying. You can just do it for your own selfish needs or to serve God. So if you do it to serve God, in the example of soldier, he was doing it to serve the country, not for his own enjoyment, right? Killing those. But when he came to the village and killed some of his enemies there, he was doing it for his own thing. So the action was the same, like killing, but the intention of doing that, one was to serve, and
like
one
the
was
reason.
that is the most important thing. So that's also what this whole thing is about, Krishna consciousness. So what is your whole intention of doing things? That is what we have to purify. And once we do it for the Lord, everything will be pure and you won't get any reactions. So that's what we learn next class. But since you asked, I'm just telling you what that is. Okay, so these are the different types of karma. So good activities will take you to the higher planetary system. So this is that one bubble of material world. Many universes comes out of that the Lord creates. So you can go to any of these planets. So we are currently in Bhuloka. So that is like the earthly planets, but there are other planets on the higher heavenly planets that gives you more enjoyment. There is not much disease there. There's you don't feel so much pain. There's a lot of comfort and luxury without even having to work for it. In the material world, you have to work and then only you get rewarded. So all that is there. So this is all happening in this whole material creation. So these are, there are different activities or bad karma, like killing, then there is killing and eating. Then there
But I eat chicken and then I'm a child.
No, so you have to slowly purify yourself, right? So then this is another type of bad activity is
Gambling?
Yeah, gambling. So this is trying to cheat people to make money. So that is another.
What's wrong with gambling? It's just a fun game.
Yeah. So for yeah, you got to you don't like it's all based on the nature of a person, right? You do the thing, but then when you understand that you at that time when you are having fun, you can do something better, then you will do that. So this is another vikarma of drinking a lot of alcohol and
Becoming drunk.
yeah, and also do drunken bad
That looks
activities.
like a bunch of shows. And
Yeah.
Sting in the Cold World.
Yeah, this is like other bad activities like men and women running after each other and all. So the different karma. So based on vikarma, all the bad activities after this life, you might go to some hellish planets to suffer for the bad
What
activities
is
you
this
did.
one? The first.
So this person was an alcoholic all his life, and he didn't really take care of his family, or he was very irresponsible. So then he goes to hell and he's made to drink lava instead of alcohol. This is a person who, even though he had a wife, he was running after so many women, and other women who are running after so many other men. They are also the same suffering, where you go to hell and you're asked to embrace a hot molten lava of the opposite gender. And so every action, like all these bad activities, you get bad.
What is this one?
So that is another person who was cheating somebody. So he's being tied, and so yeah, these are very gruesome sufferings that you go through. So that is vikarma. We told karma, good karma activities will take you like giving money in charity, and all that will take you to the higher planets. Like Brahma is a person for 100 lifetime, he didn't do anything bad. So then he can get the post of Brahma, right? So, and then if you do very, very bad activities, you go to the hellish planets. And then we discussed the case where you were born again in the same world, right? Like Deep Kapadia, we discussed the example of how he remembered his previous life. He was a security guard, then he was born as Deep Kapadia in this life. So you can come to the same world, or you can go to the higher heavenly planets for more enjoyment, or you can go to the lower planets. So that's the nature of karma. When you're doing everything independent of God, the first two things happen. Then akarma is the one that when you're doing everything for God and what pleases him, that will not bind you. It will take you out of the material world to the spiritual world. Okay, so we are running out of time. I quickly finish these last few slides. This is about what is the duration of result of karma. So something that you do, if you study well, you do well in an exam, right? If you don't study, you're anyway not going to do well, right? So that's instant. So if you do good, you're immediately getting the result back. Just like if you plant the mustard seed, within a week, you'll get these flowers and small pods of mustard seeds. But if you plant a coconut tree, it takes 25 years, a coconut in the ground to become a tree and give you another coconut. So some are delayed. Some karma is delayed, just it takes a long time to bring the result. Another example is, see, this man is being slapped by this lady because he said something rude, he's immediately getting a slap, right? So as soon as he said something bad, he got a slap. And then delayed karma is somebody did something bad, there's a court case, and then finally after many, many years, the judge says, oh, you have to go to jail. So that's like delayed karma. So karma, the result of karma can happen immediately or delayed. And then another type of karma is individual karma. So it is based on one's own activities, one has to suffer. So this guy got into a car accident and got severely injured. Only he got injured. And then there are activities where the whole family suffers or whole nation suffers. Right, so like in India or America before last year had a lot of deaths due to COVID. So collectively, people are suffering, and that's because Mother Nature puts everybody together in a ship like the Titanic, who has to go through some of the reactions, and all those 1,500 people died at the same time. So that's called collective karma. And then you might say, I didn't know about karma, so will it affect me? That's not true. Ignorance of the law doesn't mean that you would not be punished for it. So it's important for us to learn about it so that we can make good choices. And some people say, I did something bad, so can I do something good to nullify something bad that I did? No, that's not true. According to the scriptures, if you do 7 good things, you have to get good reaction for those 7 things. For the bad things, you got to separately get the bad reactions. So we will learn next class what is the way, because in our previous lives we might have done so many bad things and it might be coming to us. So what can we do to get out of this whole cycle of action and reaction? That we'll learn next class. And this slide, it's just showing how karma can affect us, when it will affect us. So if a person says, I made some very, very good grains, but I'm going to sell very bad grains this year. So how does that make sense, right? So what happens is this farmer, see, he's cutting his grain, and what he's doing is he's loading it to the top of his storage. You see that it is getting loaded on top. So, but what he's going to sell is what comes out of the bottom, right? So that's why good things or bad things happen to good people, because it is the old karma from a previous time that is affecting them. What they're loading up on top is their good karma that will come to them in a later time, just like this grain tank example. Okay, so we covered all these topics, and so what should we do now? Because we have the ability to inquire, question, make choice, and become determined and do something, we have to do the right thing. And as we always say, life is a preparation and death is an examination, because at the time of death, it decides whether we go back to spiritual world or we go back to come back to this material world. All that is depending on our choices. So that ends the class today, and we'll do Kahoot now. Are there any questions before we start? So you learned a very, very big topic. It was like drinking from a fire hose, right? So many different aspects. And it's okay if everything, you can't remember everything or anything. It's just, you're all learning together. You have to hear this many times and experience this in your life to understand what karma is. But just try to learn as much as you can.
Can you stop
so
the
that,
video?
yeah. It's loading pin for so long.
Prabhuji, can you share the PowerPoint?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I will share the link. Actually, my phone is broken. So as soon as I get the warranty, the new phone, I'll get back on WhatsApp and send it. I'll have a link that I post.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes. Okay, why is the game pin taking so long? Let me refresh. So anybody has any questions? Everybody know what karma is? And taking this Kahoot also is a learning. So we can discuss while taking the test also.
Prabhuji, what is a game pin?
Yeah, we are all waiting for it. Somehow it's taking a while. It looks like I have some bad karma.
No, that's not bad karma, Acha.
Okay. I don't know why it's not showing up. Let me close this out and open. Oh, teach.
Touch. Oh.
Classic. All we can do is wait because we are at the mercy of this Kahoot.it app. Let me try to stop share and see if that works, and I'll share as soon as the pin comes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Okay,
Yes.
it has come finally. So
Sorry, Prabhuji, I cannot see the screen.
yes. Screen one.
It's
Screen
344 375. Wait, I joined, but I was actually the first one to join, but always salty.
I have good karma has joined. Very nice name. Meenakshi, Arjun, Tairaji, Chaitraji, Oisalti, Dhruv, Ayanaji, Ishwarji, and
I think we should join our name, not like I have karma, like Arjun, not like that. We should join in our names.
that's okay because we are here to learn, right? So sometimes if you put your name, then you might be sad that others are seeing that you're getting higher marks or lower marks or something like that. So it's okay, whatever your heart desires. The important thing is we all learn. So I'm not going to enforce the rule that everybody has to put their own name. Depends on what they want. Is that okay, Nashiji?
Yes, it's fine. I just told you about that.
Prabhuji, I noticed one thing that when you said Hare Krishna, when you chanted Hare Krishna, this Kahoot came.
Yeah.
Yes. So only by Krishna's mercy things will work. Anytime anything can work. Okay, can we start? We have 10 participants on the Kahoot.
Prabhuji, we have 11 participants on the meeting.
Yeah, you want some more time, Nitinji? Sure. So who wants more time?
Oh, I don't know. There are 11 participants.
So while we wait, there is one more way to think about why the Lord created the material world. So think about a little girl like Ayana, and she is crying to her mom that she wants to cook food. And she says, I want to cook food. I am a better cook than you, mommy. And then what mommy does is, mommy goes to goes outside to the toy stores and buy a little kitchen for her. And Ayana keeps playing with that kitchen, right? And then after 1 hour, she's very hungry and she says, Mommy, I'm very hungry. Give me some food. And then, so mommy doesn't ask, oh, you got your own kitchen. Why don't you get food from there? So similarly, the Lord has created the material world just because we wanted to play God. So he's giving us a situation where we can try to get happy. So, yeah, we can start. Anybody else needs more time? I thought we were waiting for somebody.
11 participants.
Okay, let's start then. Sorry, I thought we were waiting.
We were waiting, actually.
Journey of self-discovery. Why do bad things happen to good people? Good luck, everyone. Okay, 1 of 12. Is there justice in the world? Yes or no? So some people might say there is no justice. Some people are born poor, some people are born rich. There's no justice in the world is what you can hear mostly in material circles. Yes, there is justice in this world. That's by the law of karma. Because everything that you see in this world is not just connected to this current. So
Prabhuji, I'm having bad internet connection, so I might experience some delay.
okay.
It's okay.
But you're in 4th place now. Ayana, Asmitaji, Chaitraji, Ishwarji, Tharunji, all are doing well. Good job. Okay, what is the law of God that decides the result for our actions? Law of gravity, law of motion, law of karma, all of the above. Yes, law of karma. That's what we are learning about today. Yeah, law of gravity and law of motion, they are just like if you throw an apple in the air, it will come down. That is law of gravity. Law of motion is a body in, there are Newton's 3 laws of motion, right? So you can learn that in physics. But what decides the results is law of karma, of our activities, whether we successful material life or unsuccessful, all that. Okay, Ashmita ji is in 1st place. Very good. Who is responsible for the misery we suffer? God, ourselves, others, all of the above. Yes, very nice. Ourselves, because we made those choices and we have to either suffer for it or get the good results for it. So that's the law of karma. God is just based on his rule. Law of karma, he's being a judge. He's not responsible for the bad things that happen. Okay. Ashmitaji, Ishwarji, Tarunji, Chaitra, and Tyra all are on the board. Chaitra ji has run 3 answers correct in a row. Very good.
I did too.
Yes. Why do bad things happen to good people? Bad people attacking good people. Good people are tested by God. Good people need to understand suffering, bad actions in previous lives or life. So this is the whole summary of this chapter. So it's because in a previous life, this good person in this life did something bad and he has to suffer for that. One example is Dhritarashtra. His 100 sons were killed, remember, in the war. What he did was a few lifetimes back, about 100 lifetimes back, he killed 100 birds, the kids of the 100 bird, and he was enjoying that. And after so many lives, he got the suffering for that, right? Yeah. So, Ashmita ji, Ishwar ji, Chaitra ji,
Karma just hit answer straight.
Yeah.
3.
Very good. Very good. Okay, 5th question. Why was the material world created by God? For our purification, for our punishment, since we wanted to be independent of God, all of the above. Okay, it's all of the above.
Can you finish up quick? I have 11 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll be done soon. Okay, who is the jailer of the material? So if this world is Durga, so there is Durga Devi, Parvati, or US government, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma. Who is the jailer for this material world? Yes, it's Durga. That's why this world is called Durg. And Durga Devi is the one taking care of this, the reaction and reaction in this world. Okay. How many types of clothes or bodies can be given to prisoners in the material world? 1 million, 2.4 million, 5.4 million, 8.4 million. So we discussed, right? 1 million.
Prabhuji, I noted this point in my book because this was a bit hard
Yeah.
to memorize. So I wrote it in my book.
I remember because I just remembered.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remembered.
very good.
I just remembered 84 number.
Okay. 8 out of 12. What are the chains attaching to the prison of material world? Sattva guna, Rajo guna, Tamo guna, all of the above. So we saw a picture and we were like puppets being pulled in 3 directions. Okay, all of the above. All 3 are modes of nature. that pull. What are the types of activities we can do in the material world? Karma, vikarma, akarma, all of the above. Oh, everybody got it. That means I won. I'm so happy.
You don't play the Kahoot.
That's the most important.
Prabhuji, in our lives, we should do some vikarma, we should do some akarma, we should do some karma. We should do all 3 things.
Okay, that maybe you can understand it that way, but you can also think of it as we'll learn it next week, that everything you do is to please God. Then you will only do akarma. Okay. 7. Ishwarji is on top place, then Ayana, Chaitraji, Ashmitaji, and I have good karma. Ishwarji has 9 out of 9 so far. Very good. Okay, 10th question. How soon can we get the results of our activities? Instantly, delayed, both, none. So remember the example of mustard seed and coconut? It can be immediate or...
Wait, I meant to click both, but then I mistakenly clicked instantly.
That's okay.
Yes, got it.
Okay, second last question for today. Law of karma works on whom? Individual, collective, many persons together, single person, all of the above, or none of the above?
I don't know.
So we discussed about one person driving a car getting an accident, or the whole Titanic sinking. So it can be both, right? Collective or individual karma. Okay, what is the solution to get out of action? Law of karma. Praying, chanting the name of the Lord, doing all actions as a service to God, choosing to do activities that would please God, all of the above. Yes, everybody's right actually. And the most right is all 3 are correct, right? It'll always, praying to God will make our activities pure.
I got all of them right.
Okay, very good.
I got every single one right.
Okay, who is in 3rd place? I have good karma is in 3rd place. 2nd place is Ayana. And 1st place goes to Ishwar. But everybody are winners. Chaitra ji, Meenakshi ji, all are placed actually. So very good.
Acha, I actually got.
For the first time I'm getting in the podium.
Yeah, very good.
Acha,
Meenakshi ji.
I got 12
See, we
out
missed
of 12.
you for so many days. So when you came,
Acha, I got 12
you're
out
doing
of 12.
so well.
See,
Yeah.
Acha, I got 100%.
Yeah, very good. Hare Krishna. So everybody can start doing your annotation and creativity now.
Wait, can
The
I
class
do
is
it?
over.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you
Hare
so
Krishna.
much.
Hare Krishna.
I didn't do it in my
Thank
dance class.
Hari Bol,
you so
Prabhuji.
much. Everybody did so well.
Hare Krishna.
We are all learning together. I'm learning from you too. So thank you for coming every week.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. It's our pleasure. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining. Hari Bol. Vanchakalpatarupascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Tarun.
Bye.
Hari Bol.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Bye.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Bye.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol Chaitra ji. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Bol. Hare Bol.
Hari Bol.
The screen is full of green.
Hare Krishna
I think
Prabhuji.
it's a
Bye.
garden.
Hare Krishna Hemanji. Thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna Nitinji. Ishika ji. Thank you so much. Hari Bol. Okay, I will stop share and stop the call now. Hare Krishna.